Dear Joe, it's the last day of this very short 3-day cruise, and today we will be visiting the tiny island of Coco Cay. Well, it's not even an island because it's so small. So on the agenda today is explore more, bask in the sun, and go in the ocean. That last one might be a bit of a challenge because it's in the 60s and that's chilly. But it's on the list, so I'm gonna do it. As much as I don't want the cruise to end, there is one thing that I really didn't like. So I'll be telling you all about that as well. Sunscreen got into my eye. Oh my god. Cool, when you get up.
Coco Loco!
Do we have a thing? Do we have like one of those things?
Yeah, you have to press this. Coco Loco!
There you go. Here, that's it. Hang on.
You know what I don't like about this cruise? And it's not just this one, because I've been on other cruises before. It's one of the actual greatest things about it too. But it's the food. the food is catered to people who eat tons and tons of meat, dairy, and everything I don't eat. And the choices I've had for, luckily, I eat a little bit of seafood, because if I didn't, there is no way that I would have had a proper meal this entire time, because it's ridiculous. There's just no options. And it's like, for all of the food that's on this ship, the food that's non-dairy and vegan, why is that not an option? Like, what do you expect us to eat? Broccoli and potatoes? How is that a complete meal? And earlier, I saw that they had like vegetable curry, and I'm like, oh cool, I would actually try that. And I was like, let me ask before I take up anything and put it inside my body. And luckily I did ask, because I was like, hey, is there milk in this? And the chef was like, oh no, just cream. I'm like, okay, all right, yeah. Well, what do you think makes cream, sir? Milk. There is milk in it. So it's like that's one of the things I don't like about cruises, where there's such an abundance of food, but still there's nothing to eat if you don't eat majority of the food. I don't eat meat. There's a shit ton of meat. There's chicken, there's pork. Oh, tonight there's like Caribbean night, so they have jerk chicken, they have curry goat, they have all sorts of stuff that if I ate meat, I would have been happy. But it's like, most of us don't eat meat. Like, we are in 2024. You need to do better. There's a lot of people who are plant-based, a lot of people who are vegans. And if we're not being catered to, then we don't get to enjoy things like being on a ship, And it's like, I feel like it's an experience that everybody should have, because besides the seasickness, luckily this trip, the boat hasn't been rocking that much, so it's like, it's great. No one got sick. Some of the family members are like, oh, they feel a little woozy, but that's basically it. No one's thrown up that I've heard of, so that's the great part. But I feel like everybody should have the chance to just go out on the ship, see the night sky without the light pollution of the city, and see all the stars and enjoy the sound of the water, and just enjoy being in the middle of nowhere with no service, like no cell service. I don't think you should get like the Wi-Fi package, because the Wi-Fi does suck, but hey, some people get it and some people can't live without their phones. But I think it's a great opportunity to just disconnect from everything and be with yourself. Like, that was one of the things I was looking forward to the most when it was decided that this was going to be a trip. And I was like, I can't wait to just sit on the balcony and just stare into the middle of nowhere, just out on the horizon, and just listen to the waves. And occasionally there's people that come out and talk too loud, but whatever. They're just here to have fun, and so am I. So it's like, it's all part of the experience, and I feel like everyone should experience that. Even if you have a fear of swimming, it's a big goddamn boat. You should experience it. To show you that I'm not exaggerating when it comes to the food, like last night's dinner, the chef came and apologized. Like, literally came to the table and apologized, because the first night there was no options. Like, no options. So we're picking and choosing what, and trying to add together what we would want to eat. And it's like they had this fish with mashed potatoes or something, and then of course in the mashed potatoes they're gonna add milk. So we're like, okay, just do the fish in olive oil. So they sent out the fish fillet on a plate with olive oil. And that was it. Luckily, that actually tasted good. So we're like, okay, this is good. And because we sent back so many times, they gave us the menu for the next day, which was yesterday. And he was like, oh, put in your orders now so we can make things how you want it ahead of time. Which was perfect. We put in the order and everything. And come yesterday, what happened was we went, and then the food showed up and it still had the butter sauce in it, and we were just like, what is this? Does this have dairy in it? Then they sent something back. They took it and then came back with something else, and they're like, oh, we're sorry, I know we put in the order yesterday, but it's like something got mixed up in the kitchen. And I understand there's a lot of people on the ship, but if we put in our order ahead of time, it's like, okay, pay more attention to that. But I guess there wasn't. And mine, it was like the only like vegan dish, sort of vegan bolognese pasta. It was not good. I was just like, whatever. So I got the fish. The fish wasn't good. And it's just like, okay. And it's like the manager came over and he was like, oh, how was it? I was like, yeah. And he was like, okay. And, they tried everything. They tried everything to make it better, which is what I truly appreciated. They went above and beyond. And for the chef to actually come to the table and was like, hey, I'm really sorry, it meant a lot. At the same time, if I'm hungry, hungry people are very angry people. It's just like, whatever. So they were like, oh, would you like salmon? And I'm like, there's no salmon on the menu. How would I know that there's salmon available? So I'm like, okay, let's try the salmon. And the salmon was actually really good. So I'm just like, so you had this the whole time. It's not on the menu. And I don't know. But the salmon was good. But the fact that the chef had to come out and apologize because there was really no option for us to eat. And it's just like, I've been in this situation a lot. So it's like, it's annoying, but it's like, it becomes something where it's just like, okay. I guess it's just one of those days. Because it's like, especially when I ate like no fish, like zero fish, I would go to restaurants with friends, family, and I would be stuck with eating stuff from the side menu. So it's like, okay, if they have sauteed spinach, I'd get the sauteed spinach. I'd get the potatoes. I would eat fries till my head hurt. But I love fries, so it's like I wouldn't mind that. But I stopped eating potatoes. So it's like, hey, what am I going to eat instead of that? And why am I only limited to the side menu when you have a giant menu filled with other things? Why are you not thinking about people and their dietary restrictions? Like, you think if I had a choice in this matter, I would be putting myself through this? No. My body said, hey, we don't want any meat. And guess what? You can't have any dairy either. So I'm going to listen to my body and not eat any of that. And to not have the option when I'm going out makes it suck. So I've gotten used to that. And I honestly thought that being on the cruise, it would have been a little better. But I had my doubts. I did. And if I didn't eat a little bit amount of fish, there's no way I would have survived this cruise on freaking lettuce and not even chickpeas, like just lettuce. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Please do better. I enjoy cruises, and I know a lot of plant-based people and a lot of vegan people do not go on cruises because of this very reason. And it's like, you are overlooking a huge amount of people. Please do better. You have so much food. There's no reason why you shouldn't have one whole stall just for vegetarian, vegan food. And yes, butter is not. Butter is for vegetarians, not vegan. There's no way. Please do better. Do better.